And if you look at the marketing mix, which we're familiar with, the 4 Ps, they're actually becoming 4 Es now, where product is now an experience, price is an exchange of data, of time, place is every place, and promotion is evangelism. The perfect example is Facebook, but you can think about product nowadays as well, like think about Apple and so on. Facebook, it's not a product, it's an experience. It allows you to stay in touch with your friends and so on. The price is actually free. Well, the price is actually an exchange. You give your data that they can then use to monetize and sell to advertisers and so on. You exchange time. So again, this is interesting, the price is an exchange. The promotion it only works through evangelism. That's how it's spread across 1.2 billion people. It's, be friend with me and so on. So evangelism was, absolutely the key way to get a promotion across. And at every place, obviously, it's with us all the time. So I mentioned about Welcome to the Experience Economy. This was the title of a white paper that Pine and Gilmore submit in the Business Harvard Business Review, in 1998. And in there, they show this great diagram that really demonstrates how we're now going into this experience economy. And they use the example of a birthday cake, where they're saying that in the past, where 90% of us were working in farms, if we wanted to make a birthday cake, we had to extract the commodities, turn the hay and whatever, to turn that into flour. Then you had to make the cake and then bake it. That was weeks in the process to actually make a birthday cake. So you can imagine a birthday cake was highly valuable at the time. With the Industrial Revolution, flour was made for you, so you could go and buy it in the high streets and then go back home, make the cake, and then give it, for a birthday cake. Now, nowadays we haven't got time anymore, so it's all about services. So now I can't do a cake anymore. I'm going to the supermarket, I'm buying a new one, or even better, I get it delivered through the door. Now, but that was a few years ago. Products and services are now commodity. And what really matters is to what they call stage experiences. And this is more like a birthday party now. So it looks like a wedding, but it's actually a birthday party. And what's interesting here is that the product itself, the birthday cake, is given for free as part of the package. The value isn't in the product anymore, or the service, it's the whole package, the experience you can deliver. And that's how you can justify a premium price. And that's how you can differentiate yourself from your competition. This is exactly what Apple's done. They're just computers like many other brands. But why can't just justify this premium price? And how they differentiate themselves from anyone else? It's because they just behave at their staging experiences. And that's what Steve Jobs used to do, is to come on one of those and staging it, build all the momentum and just say, look at how beautiful this is. And everything from that announcement all the way from you using it, you feel like you're living an experience. So, if experience is the holy grail, and again, we got that, but the point about customer experience is increasingly more and more important. The question is, how do we deliver great customer experience? And you have to take into account people's behavior, and what is the mindset they're in at a specific time. So there's this great technique here, or quadrant, called the experience quadrant, where we're looking at the right definitions for customer experience. If you look on Wikipedia, it says it's about delivering against the needs and wants of the customer. That's the main purpose of creating great customer experiences. And if you think about the needs and wants, I need a car to go to work, but I want an Aston Martin. I need a computer to work, but I want an Apple. So it's interesting to put them on opposite axes in this way. Now, if we look at people's mindset, they might be either in a passive mode or in an active mode. And this gives us 4 quadrants that we can play with. And now we have a better understanding of what the mindset of the consumer is. And it's important to deliver the right experience at the right time. So if someone is in a need state, I'm hungry, they will actively try to fulfill that need. So for the brand, it's very important to make sure it's an experience of enablement. Try to enable this as quickly as you can. I'm hungry, bang, there you are. If that was possible, then great. So it's trying to get to deliver against that. Now, if you got someone who needs something, but is more in a passive state, then it's more an experience of education. if you now want something and you're in a passive mode, and Sonia gave a great example this morning, she said that about 90% of people buying the Cadbury's were not people who actively engaged with the brand. They just saw a messaging, they saw it was great, and then they went and buy something. So entertainment in this instance works extremely well as well, but again, it's at the right time, the right messaging. And then the last one is, we're very familiar with customer engagement. But you only do that when you're dealing with an audience that is in an active mode and really want something. The best example I can give around this is the airlines. So for centuries, we passively entertained the idea of flying. We wanted to fly, but we couldn't do it. No wings. So we just dreamed about it. A few actively tried to engage in trying to turn the dream into reality, and until the Wright brothers, not many people were able to fly. The Wright brothers really introduced the airplane, and what happened in the first decades of flying through aircraft was that people really wanted to fly, and then they engaged, and then they would pay a super high price. We probably have the same thing now with space flying. People would pay millions of pounds to go fly in space. So the problem with airlines is that the last few decades, the want has become a need. It's being commoditized over time. Flying is not the part that I enjoy anymore. It's a means to an end. I need to fly to come here to the conference or to go on holiday. That's really that part I could do without. So the challenge for airlines is they're now stuck in this educate and enable. And that's the first thing they did, is trying, and they're still trying to do, is to try to make that process of flying as quickly as possible, a checking process. It's all about enablement, make sure that the planes aren't delayed, it's easy to check in and so on. And then the education, if you think about those safety trips, the doors are here and so on. This is, airlines treat this as a piece of education, and no one cares, and people are passive and reading the magazine, and while you have the hostess doing all those sort of things. So, what's the answer to how do we turn needs back into wants? Well, it's a very simple answer, and it's innovation. We've got to innovate. That's how we can turn needs back into wants. And an example, for instance, back with the airline, that I would choose an airline if the hull of the aircraft was transparent. Because right now, I don't feel like I'm flying, especially if I'm sitting in the middle aisle. You're just in a tin, up in the air. If it was transparent, I would really feel like I'm flying, and I would choose that airline. Not for everyone, I agree with that. But guess what? You can try to replicate that now through technology. Why not turning the floor into a screen? And then my floor, I can just press a button, and then now I can see through. Again, that would suit me. Doesn't exist yet. But what exists, and I do choose those airlines when they have that features, is the screen in front of you. Have you seen that sometimes when you land, some airlines or some planes, you can actually see the airport as you land? Yeah. I love that. I'm now feeling like I'm flying. And again, through innovation, I would choose that airline, and I would want to fly with those guys, and I'd probably wait for that landing to happen. So again, great example, great quadrants to really help map those different experiences, whether it's a campaign, whether it's different channels, whether it's different devices. So that's it. Key takeout, experience is really the new holy grail. That's when you need to strike, whatever you do. Virtual assistants are your new best friend. 4 Ps is now 4 Es. Think about staging experiences. Augment existing products and services with technology is a great way to start. And then map your experience on the experience quadrant. That's my name, my Twitter. Thank you very much for your time.
We've probably got time for one question.